everybody, Friends and Exploit here, and today I'm back with another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to counter campers in Black Ops 3. And now, even though I know that camping isn't as big as a problem as it has been in previous Call of Duty games, such as Ghosts, there are still those annoying people that like to camp. Now today I'm going to be going over how to bust mainly two kinds of campers, so I'll have two main classes for each one, and I will go over the specialists and Scorestreaks you're going to want to use. So we're going to go over how to beat the casual campers, basically the people that I like to call casual, because they basically just like sit in a room with a sniper and maybe like a trip mine and a shock charge, and it really won't go past there. And then I'll show you a class that will help you get rid of that more hardcore kind of camper, the one that'll set up hives, sentry guns, microwaves, and camp with a LMG in a room, oftentimes with several other teammates. So, other than that, I guess we should get right into the tutorial. Alright guys, so here we are with the first class. This one is for the casual kind of camper, even though it will work pretty decently against the against the more hardcore campers too. This one is specifically tailored for just the people who like to annoyingly camp with snipers in like certain rooms. So first up, what we're gonna want is some sort of LMG. I recommend either the BRM or the Dingo, because in my opinion the Gorgon is just awful and I don't like the Dredge. So I'm gonna go with the BRM here, and the only attachment you really need is FMJ, so that way you can punch through walls to destroy equipment or the actual players. So those are the only attachments you really need. If we have extra points at the ends, then we might be able to add another attachment. Now we'll go into perks. So we're basically just going to be using really tanky perks here, just in case, in case we want to like burst in. So we're going to use Flak Jacket, we're going to use Hardwired, and after that, I guess we will use Tactical Mask. So basically, none of your opponent's equipment can hurt you now. You're immune to basically everything, so you can just kind of rush into that room and not worry. Now we're going to add one more perk, and that's Engineer. Now this is extremely important because it lets you show where the enemy equipment is and how much of it they have. So it'll show hives, trip mines, shock charges, all that kind of stuff. Next, we're going to want two EMP grenades. Now these are pretty self-explanatory. EMP grenades will just, you throw them in a room, they clear out everything, they're great. Now we have 1 point left. I either like to spend this on some kind of lethal, like a frag grenade, but you could spend it on an attachment too, like an optic if you hate the BRM optics or something. But for this class, I'm just going to add on a frag grenade. Now we're going to go into the class setup for the more hardcore campers. Alright, so here is the class setup for the hardcore campers. You don't come across these as often, but they're still there. So we're going to have some sort of rocket launcher. I prefer the black cell, just to lock onto those hardened sentries and microwave turrets. Then, as for the last one, we're going to want two EMPs. And then I'd like to run two lethals, usually frags or semtexes. And that way you can just clear out a huge room with lots of their teammates camping in it. Hopefully they don't have any trophy systems. Now we're going to run some perks. Perks are kind of variable on this one since you're usually not going to be rushing into the room with the camper themselves. I'm going to put on some tanky perks for perks 1 and perks 2. Then for perk 3, you're just going to want to keep Engineer again. So I'm going to put on Hardwired here and then Engineer. And Engineer is super awesome. Now for the last slot, since we don't have FMJ available, you can really use any kind of weapon you want. So I'm going to go with the VMP. So those are the two classes. Now let's go on to the Specialist and Scorestreaks. Alright guys, so for our Specialist, you have to have Heatwave. Heatwave is a must. Basically the reason we use Heatwave is because you can just rush into a room with a bunch of campers. You can Heatwave destroy all the equipment, damage some of the streaks there, and you can stun everyone in the room. It's just super useful against campers, and it'll even destroy hives. So that's why I really like the Heatwave. And now onto the Scorestreaks. These are kind of tricky because there aren't really any anti-camping Scorestreaks. First up, if you are good enough at the game, I definitely would recommend the Power Core. You don't see it that often because it costs a lot of points, but when you use it, it destroys all equipment and Scorestreaks on the map. So that'll just basically shut down any kind of camping operation. Next up, I guess sticking with a UAV is pretty good just in general because, you know, it's a UAV. It's pretty much a staple. And then lastly, what I'd like to use is an HCXD, because if you use an HCXD, you can just kind of go into a room where a bunch of campers are without actually risk of you getting killed. Now you can do the same thing with the Dart, except the Dart is arguably worse than the HCXD. Well guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed and you learned anything from this, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for more content like this. And hopefully this video just basically helped you deal with those annoying campers in the game. Now I know it's pretty taxing to keep a class like this on you at all times, but after you prestige a little bit, I'm pretty sure you can spare at least one slot to just use one of these classes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.